The Department of Education has now come out with a list of degrees that they are saying will no longer be considered professional. A physical therapist, an occupational therapist, advanced nurse practitioner, nurse practitioners, a physician assistant, teachers, a speech language pathologist, and there's more.
Where are all the nurses for Trump? Where are all the teachers for Trump? Where are all the women for Trump? Because what this is, yes, men do all these jobs, don't get me wrong, but this is a female-dominated sector that they're going after, and nurses, teachers, things like that. And they're going to make it almost impossible for people going forward to receive financial aid to be able to go to school to get into these professions. And they have literally stripped you of your professional degree. They're saying you're not a professional, but you know who is? A priest, a pastor. They didn't touch theology. Where have I seen that before? Where's a theocracy? Oh, is it Handmaid's Tale? Are we going down that path? Are we getting rid of every professional? Who's next? I don't know. They've touched a lot of industries here, but the Department of Education is being dismantled piece by piece by piece from the inside out, just like we said it was, just like Project 2025 said it was. And I bet all those nurses for Trump and teachers for Trump are just applauding this because they have to continue to eat this line of BS so they don't look stupid, so they don't look like they made the wrong choice. But Donald Trump, Linda McMahon, the Department of Education, this entire administration has told you you're not a professional. They've told you that your degree doesn't mean shit, and they're not going to support people who want your degree and want to go into your line of work anymore. And that should be the biggest slap in the face. But so many of you are lining up to take it. Wake up, people.
Guys, the truth is that many nurses feel so disappointed. I mean, during COVID, people call them heroes. They worked extra hours. Many of them cried in their cars before going home. Some became sick even after saving others. A lot of them even lost their lives. Many of them stayed when the world was scared. And today you are saying that they feel almost invisible. Welcome to my YouTube channel, beautiful people. Thank you for stopping by. All credit goes to the creators in these videos. Guys, so many videos online about this news about nursing, the nursing profession not being counted as a professional degree anymore. And many nurses are airing their frustration. They are saying online that they are clapped for, they were clapped for during COVID, and now their degree is being treated like it has no value. And they are saying that this decision also affects equality because nursing has always given people, especially women, immigrants, minorities, a chance to build a stable life. But if schools become more expensive, fewer people will join. And when fewer people join, more patients will wait. And hospitals cannot work with empty always. The doctors cannot do everything. Because this decision, guys, if fewer people study nursing, the current nurses, they feel so disrespected. I mean, if that happens, the stress becomes too heavy. Healthcare becomes weak, guys. And people are asking, will this rule be reversed? Will nursing be added to STEM to get support? Will schools lose students with burnout increase? And most importantly, who will care for people when they are sick? Because trust me, I believe you also know, nursing is not just another degree. Nursing is human care, human presence, human strength.
Once again, the Trump administration wants you to become a trad wife. The other fields that are included in this list, by the way, are all predominantly female-dominated. Occupational therapy, physical therapy, licensed clinical social workers, audiologists, PAs. The list goes on, and this is by design. Let's talk a little bit about how this is connected to you becoming a trad wife. I remember reading Tia Leving's book, A Well-Trained Wife, and one of the things I found most surprising about Christian fundamentalists and evangelicals in that book is that women are predominantly not educated. Because essentially at like the age of 18, they just get married and then they immediately start having children. And then, of course, they are the stay-at-home parent. They are the primary caregiver. And I remember in the book, Tia talked about how she would get on these chat boards once she became kind of a stay-at-home mom and her kids had gotten a little bit older. And she would talk with other women about what books they were reading. And so she would start reading these other books. And reading was kind of the gateway for her into escaping Christian fundamentalism. Because education gives women options. And when women have options, they don't have to be in marriages that they do not want to be in. They do not have to be the primary caregiver. They do not have to stay at home with the children. They don't have to have children. They don't have to get married. And so consider how this fits into the bigger and broader plan that the Trump administration has for American families. They want you to be having babies. They want you to stay at home. They do not want you to have any control over your life whatsoever. And education gives you control over your life, which is why it's such a gift. Have you ever heard about that study that says that people who go to college or obtain higher education tend to be more liberal? Yeah. That's because when you go to college, when you obtain a higher education, when you are exposed to other viewpoints, other opinions, other cultures, other types of people, you broaden your worldview. And what happens then is that you learn you would rather be considered an equal next to a man. You learn about finance. You learn about feminism. These are all very dangerous, scary things for the Trump administration and their plans. Because once again, this administration, the people who support it, the people who are involved in it in any capacity, do not believe that women are people. I'm going to say that one more fucking time. This administration does not believe that women are people. So after reproductive freedoms comes education. Do not let any of those rat fucks in this administration make you think that these things are not all connected. They absolutely are. And go read Tia's book.
Hi, so the Department of Education has just decided to release their list of fields that will no longer be considered professional degrees. And that list includes teachers, occupational therapists, speech pathologists, nurses, and I am just wondering at what point you MAGA women are going to understand that the war on women that they are raging is real, that it was in Project 2025, that we tried to warn you that what they want is to silence you. They want all women to go back to the kitchen. They want all women to be barefoot and pregnant and submit to their husbands. This is their ideology. This is what they want, and they are carrying it out in policy. So it's not just rhetoric now, because thanks to you, it has been elected and now implemented. So that means that anybody who wants to be a nurse, that wants to be a teacher, that wants to be an occupational therapist, which are female-dominated fields, they will have a really hard time getting student loan assistance. Their fields will not be funded as much. And it's not a coincidence. They didn't just pick these careers, these fields out of a hat. It's because they're female-dominated. You are being played. And you don't want to listen to any of us who tried to tell you. You didn't want to read Project 2025. And now look at this. It's actually happening. Shame on you.
Guys, I believe that this whole thing can change the future of healthcare. I mean, many people that are even thinking of going into the nursing profession can just feel so they can feel so discouraged, guys, because and also when the degree title change, financial help also change, because no professional degree means that lower student loan limits, other repayment rules, less access to special programs, and more personal debt. And for a normal student, right, this is stressful. And for a future nurse, it can just mean giving up on the dream completely, guys. It can change how healthcare is seen in the system, because obviously many students will change the way they see nursing, and they even will refuse to choose nursing as a profession, because if studying nursing becomes more expensive, many people would definitely go on another pathway. And hospitals will also struggle to find trained staff, and patients may wait for longer care, and the quality may go down. Because trust me, how can a hospital survive without enough nurses? I mean, doctors are important, no doubt, but nurses are like the lifeline. They are the hands, the eyes, the ears, and most of the time, guys, they are the voice of the patient. And without them, the basic truth is that the whole system becomes really, really weak.
These have to be the dumbest people I've ever met. Hey, did you hear that the Trump administration just decided your job isn't professional anymore? Listen, we live in 2025. We've got nursing shortages, mental health crisis, physical therapy demands through the roof. Yet here comes the US Department of Education, or lack thereof, under the Trump administration, saying we're going to draw a tiny little charter list of what kind of counts as professional degree for federal loans, and many of you fall off that list. Some of the fields they will treat as professional: medicine, law, dentistry, optometry, veterinary medicine, theology, chiropractic. Some of the fields they won't: advanced nursing, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, physical therapists, audiologists. That means if you're a physical therapist or a nurse advancing your career, tough. Less access to your high loan caps, more financial strain, but wait! Weren't you professional the whole time? We licensed you. We relied on you. We need you. I, as a disabled Marine, will not be going into a chiropractic office. I don't believe in what they do, but they're still called professionals. I go to a physical therapist. They're the ones who get my body up and going. It penalizes the professions that are already stressed and in demand. This is dumb. We're talking about real people, real care, real outcomes. If you exclude nursing and PT from professional degree status, you shrink the pipeline. You make it harder for someone to advance. You reduce access to care in rural underserved communities, which are your fucking voters. Here's the questions. Since when did the definition of professional career get to be decided by bureaucrats with loan caps? Why are we letting this happen? And yes, this matters because we're building a millennial workforce that wants meaning, stability, upward mobility, and the system is quietly saying, nah, your path isn't big enough. So what do you think? Are nurses, PAs, PTs being disrespected by this move? Do you believe this is a public health disaster in the making? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you are in any of those professions that I mentioned, I need to hear your voice. This administration is messing with futures, and we need to speak up.
Guys, a lot of people are also saying this quiet part out loud. They are saying that, was this decision, really about education, or was it about women? Because let's be honest, the majority of women, are in nursing field. Nursing has always been a path for women, single mothers, immigrants to build a stable lifestyle. And when you remove support from, for nursing education, you may hurt women. And people are asking, why were, medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, or on all these other professions all protected, but not nursing? And why is a degree full of women workers suddenly not professional? And why did this rule suddenly appear quietly without maybe a public discussion and all of that? And so many people are saying that this decision is not just about healthcare, that it's about who gets power, who gets opportunity, and who gets respect. Because they are saying the bigger picture is when you limit nursing, you ignore nursing, you reduce financial support for nursing. That means you ignore women, you limit women, and you reduce financial support, for women's future. Guys, if that is true, then it looks like it has become a gender issue, and it looks like the society is making it harder for women to rise. Without support, they are making it difficult for women to rise on their own. Guys, what do you think? Was this targeted at women? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear from you. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important.